This is the Husky Bible podcast number 43. Episode 43. That's more emotion that you'll get, that anybody will get out of me. So hello for another episode of the Husky Bible podcast. Ariel Duran, your said Husky Bible. And in case you don't follow the Husky Bible podcast social media, which I guess it's the overwhelming majority of you, we got some news. We have a website. Finally, a legal, honest to God, all bells and whistles website. HuskyBadbooPod.com. Everything that you need to know about the podcast and some bits about yours truly is there. You can check the podcast there. You can buy the merch there. What merch? We'll talk about that later. You can check some of my stuff in terms of art because I draw. I do that too as well. Multifaceted person here. Wow. Woo. All of that crap, how much I value my stuff, is there. So visit the HuskyBadbooPod.com. No, the Husky Badboo, just HuskyBadbooPod.com. Go there. You get all the things that are up to date. I try to update it myself as much as possible. As a matter of fact, just before I recorded this, just before recording, I was editing some stuff that I didn't like, and I just republished the website now in order to have all that looking fresh, clean, and smooth for your viewing pleasure. So, once again, and I will repeat this at the end as well, we have a website. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God Almighty. Thank you, God. Website, and it should be appearing like right down there. HuskyBadbooPod.com. So please go give it a check out. Make it worth my while that I'm wasting my money. My actual money, because this podcast ain't ranking dick, because I don't make dick on this. I do it out of passion, out of love, and it's my own goddamn fault. And I'm officially putting the subtitle of this podcast, The Schrodinger's Cat of Podcasts. Why? Because it exists and it doesn't exist. Because it does exist, but it doesn't exist because people don't know what it is. So there's the in-joke for you about this beautiful podcast that you are now listening and viewing on YouTube. And by the way, thank you for that. And if you would like to help out on this, please like and subscribe on the channel. Cling. Please. Pretty please. Sugar on top. Anyway, since we last podcast, we talked about our new feline member of the family, aka Lino. You should be seeing a little picture of the little bugger up there. I decided, to give you guys some update. I mean, he's part of the family, and by far, right now, the most hairiest member of the family. He dethroned me, thank God. I mean, look at these arms, these beautiful arms here. You can tell that a lot of hair has gone there, and you don't even want to know in other places as well. I apologize for that graphic image that I just planted in your heads. Sorry. But think about the kitty. Let me put him back there again. Let me just put a picture there. Kitty, he's cute. Or right here in front of me, covering my face. The kitty, yes, the kitty. He's not so much a kitty anymore. He's big as fuck right now. So last week, I kind of shitted on him because he kind of pissed me off and a lot of things. But again, that does not mean that I don't love my kitty. I love my kitty bunch. I love him lots. I love him. And I decided on this week to talk about the positive aspects that the kitty has. So you don't see this just not shitting on him. So I'm trying to be fair, biased, but I'm also trying to be honest So, and if you tell me, oh no, cats are no problem to having a cat, you're full of fucking shit. I will address all my cursings later. So, I brought my iPad. No promotion at Apple. Fucking fucks are too expensive. You don't need my money. Plus, you wouldn't want it anyway. As cheap as fuck that I am. Anyway, update on Lionel. More good than bad. The good stuff. Let's just check here. Okay. He cries whenever any one of us leaves the house. It is so endearing. And it's so cute. Like, mostly my wife, because I don't go out of the house. I'm locked in this house 24/7. And the sad part of it, well, it depends, because I'm an introvert and I don't like to go out anyways. So the sad part, for your consideration, not for mine, is that I actually enjoy it. I like it because I have everything that I need here. I mean, I got look behind you. I mean, it's Nerdville. It is fucking nerd. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. So pretty much you got everything that you need over here. You got a fucking guitar. You got a fucking Funkos. Fucking comic books, movies, figures. 42-year-old man with figures. But who gives a shit? So I enjoy being locked in the house. And also I work from home now until further notice. And I like it. I spend time with my daughter, and I spend time with Kitty. And Kitty, Lionel, as I already mentioned his name, he cries when any one of us leaves the house, which is so cute. It is so beautiful, and you just want to eat him up. Like every time I see him, when my wife goes to work, he just goes, I won't imitate a cat. I will spare you the embarrassment there. But yeah, it's very cute. It's very beautiful thing that he does. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm using a different microphone from last week, you actually have my earphones on because I would like to apologize for last week's audio. It was the shits, the drizzling shits. I blame the microphone for it because I still have the same equipment as from last week, since the microphone in promo to what's the name of the brand? Okay, Pile, yeah. Shout out to Pile. I gave you a good review on Amazon when I purchased this. I'm gonna buy this as a second microphone. I might get a black one of these. I don't know the brand name, but I think I could probably put a hook up here on wherever. I enjoy these mics. These sound great, and they're cheap as fuck. They're like $33 in Amazon. And the sound quality for me right now, I'm listening to them right now as I speak, and they sound chef's kiss. So if you're interested, $33 in Amazon. Pile, welcome for the promotion. Sponsor my podcast. Let's make some money, both of us. Capitalism. Anyway, he's more well behaved. Lionel the cat. He's more well behaved. Like, he knows now to keep his boundaries. Like, he's getting the point. Like, for example, before he jumped in the table when he wanted food, saw us eat, and he wanted us our food. Now we kind of give him a warning, and now he like understands. Oh, okay, this ain't mine. I'll keep eating the Purina shit that you send me in the floor. And he loves my office window. If you go behind me here, let me get out of the way. That over there. See that over there? That window? He loves to stand there. I would keep him inside right now. The only thing is that he would interrupt the podcast, and I would be so distracted. And also, he would be pressing the keyboards here, and he would stop the recording, and we wouldn't be accomplishing anything. So there's that. Okay. So, but I do have to say the bad stuff with the good. Okay, so let me go with some bad stuff. Okay, he tried to bite my balls off. It happened. Not a fun experience. I did not hit him. Did not punish him. I did admonish him for whatever good that does because, yeah, they speak human. Still on the aggressive side. Bit on the aggressive side. You know, cats get that shit. They get aggressive from time to time. Something that it's beyond me and beyond an explanation. But be that as it may, and there's more shit to pick up now on the kitty litter because he is dropping fucking logs the size of Texas. That shit, literal shit. And I'm amazed that something so little can shit that big. And the rocks that I have to pick up, because thank God the kitty litter sand that we use, compacts the sand, the pee, and turns it into rocks and whatnot. So that kind of saves us the embarrassment to actually pick up piss. But now we pick up piss rocks from the kitty litter. I know that for cat owners this is nothing new, but for those of you who are considering to owning a cat, this information helps out. So there's my Lionel update of the week. By the way, no Falcon Winter Soldier review this week because I haven't seen it. I don't know if I'm going to see it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Who knows? But no for this week. Okay, so now I would like to talk about something funny that I found on the news this week that I just have to share. And the term Florida man. I think I had my wife here like last year and we talked about it in the podcast, the term Florida man. And we played a little game like, oh no, I forgot that game went to hell. Because we couldn't play because it didn't record. Anyway, Florida is a place of magic. A magical place. Technically and legally, it's part of the United States, but there's a great majority of people that believe the contrary due to the magical potency of its people and the out-of-worldly things that they can accomplish and do. So one of these things is this story that I have here, which I will read. Just check the title. It's cool as fuck. Florida mom shows up to school with boxing gloves, fights child, police say. Let us read the article. This is fucking gold. A Florida mother is facing charges after allegedly, I love this word, allegedly, fighting a student on a middle school campus, according to First Coast News. A police report said 34-year-old Edith Riddle of Jacksonville was arrested by Duval School Board Police on Thursday, March 18th. An announcement came over the school radio about a fight happening outside the cafeteria at 12:14 p.m., the report said. A school safety officer arrived at the scene and found that Riddle, the mom, Florida mom, was reportedly involved in a physical fight with the victim. The police said Riddle just left the school with her daughter after meeting with the vice principal. The daughter then walked through the cafeteria to engage the victim in a fight, the report said. Riddle's daughter pushed the victim to the ground and threw some punches before the suspect also joined in punching the victim, who was laying in the ground, according to witnesses. The First Coast News wrote. A witness also said Riddle appeared to have a boxing glove left hand, according to the arrest report. I love this part. Riddle reportedly had the boxing glove in her hand when she arrived at the school and told officials it was super glued to her wrist. As you do. Couldn't remove it. The report said that the female victim suffered abrasions to her knees and forearms. The police added that the victim was taken to St. Vincent's Hospital for a follow-up evaluation. The victim parents told police she wanted to press criminal charges. Duh! As well, according to the report. Riddle was arrested and charged with one count of child abuse with personal special weapons. God damn it, you gotta love Florida. I'll never move there, but you gotta love what comes out of there. I mean, now what you have to ask yourself is, was there a reason this woman superglued a fucking glove in her hand and helped her daughter beat the shit out of another kid? I mean, was the kid that got beat the shit out of a bully that bullied her daughter, and the daughter was like, enough? And the mom was like, well, let me get a piece of that. Let me get a piece of that. Let me get a piece of that. That's right. That's right. That's right. You don't hit my daughter. You don't hit my daughter. God damn it. It's like, oh my God. This story is just fucking gold. It's just fucking gold. It is gold. Gold, gold, gold. So, Florida woman, I tip my hat to you. That was amazing. I mean, you're going to go in jail, and what you did is pretty much illegal. You cannot hit kids anymore, but did we have a laugh about that? Fucking super glue the glove. That's fucking gold. Oh, okay. All right, so let's go and go back to reality. And we had our laugh there and enjoyed it. I would like to talk about now a little thing that I would like to say that's been bugging my mind recently. As you can tell behind me on my left side, I got some theology books. And it's not that I'm a theologian, not even close. And with this potty mouth, I shouldn't even be considered one. I mean, Martin Luther was one. He had a very big potty mouth. But I'm not even near that dude's level. I mean, he translated the Bible or the New Testament from Latin to German. So, yeah, I can't do that. So, yeah, I can't do that. But what I will say is that the more things I notice the world is that the world is divided in two groups. And I'm going to go with some Judeo-Christian allegories here. And it is a matter of historical fact that these two groups existed. And they mostly existed, before Jesus' time and after and during Jesus' time and a little bit after Jesus' time on earth. These groups are the Pharisees and Sadducees. Sadducees. I guess that's the pronunciation in English. So this is a Pharisee-Sadducee world. And you can look up the definition, the actual definition. But I'm going to give you the Ariel Duran, no bullshit translation for each. So this is the one I wrote. It's a little bit more clean, but not that clean. Okay, so Pharisees, and I'm going to put it on the screen here, believes in spiritual stuff, but are extreme assholes about it. I'll let you figure out that one. What did that mean? I think that definition pretty much leaves it clear. And the Sadducees don't believe in no spiritual stuff, only in the written word, and somehow are even more extreme assholes about it. I'll let you divulge in that. So, yeah, using that definition, the world is divided into groups. A group that believes in supernatural stuff, believes in spirits, demons, whatnot, and but are very assholes about it. In terms of how do I mean asshole about it? Well, that they're trying to impose their views on people and trying to say, no, it is like this and it exists and it really affects you and this is real and you have to take it seriously and you better follow what I said because this is the only truth that exists, and they try to ram shit down your throat. And that's the part of what I mean, that they're being assholes, because anything that you shove down people's throat, every time you try to shove something down people's throat, that makes you an asshole, in my view. I don't know if you have the same idea as me, But I think that pretty much gives you, at least adjacent to the asshole title. Same goes with the Sadducees. The Sadducees don't believe in dick. They don't believe nothing. Only in the power of the written word. Only what is written. And now we have, there's a side of the world that now thinks that they're very intellectual. And they read a lot. And reading, there's nothing wrong with reading. Believe me, reading is important. And I don't think there's enough reading done in this world with many people. And I hope that people, pick up a book and start reading and start cramming or jamming ideas into their head and get themselves more informed of what is life and the things that they have to deal with. But when you start worshiping those ideas to the point that makes you believe that you are hot shit and the rest of them and the rest of the people are pieces of shit that are not worth your time, and you won't give them the time of day and treat people like shit just because they're not up to your intellectual level, that also, if not an asshole, asshole adjacent as well. So we have the world divided in two groups, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, in my view. And I say that both groups kind of have it right, but with a very bad approach to it. The intentions are good. The intentions of what the groups are trying to do is right, One side is taking care of a spiritual need. And nowadays, a lot of people question spirituality, question whether there's a God or not, question whether things should be done in the name of God or not. Is there a God and whatnot? In my case, I made the decision to believe that there is a God. Do I know that there is a God? That's a different question. Believing in God is one thing. Knowing that there is a God is another. I don't have enough information to give you concrete, 100% factual evidence to bring you that there is a God or not. I mean, the smartest minds in the world are still debating it. And what makes me think that my 42-year-old fat-ass, non-educated person that I am, my fat, non-educated ass, is going to be like, no, I know the answer to this. I don't. I'm an idiot. I never finished college. I barely have some college education. I don't know. But based on my experience, what I've lived through, and this is personal stuff to me, and I can't advocate this or pour it into someone and force it out because this happened to me. This is necessarily the truth. This is my perspective on things. I believe that there's a God. Now, is he an asshole? Like religion paints him to be most of the time. And when I talk about religion, I'm talking about mostly the one that I profess, because let's face it, Christianity, for all the good that it has done to humanity, I mean, we've divided time, we have a calendar, they opened up the sciences and literature, some portions of Christianity anyway, not the main one. You didn't hear that? Okay, good. There's been good done by Christianity. There's been good people in Christianity that have done good things. On the flip side of that coin, then there are the horrors. The absolute fucking horrors that have been done in the name of Christ to humanity. And that is undeniable. That is something that is fact, historical fact, evidential fact. I mean, just look at the history of, just to name someone, the United States. I mean, for the longest part, I don't think it is now, but for the longest part, it was a country that professed to be a Christian nation. Yet they were doing coups all over the world and planting seeds to overthrow governments, and you can justify it and say, well, because these governments were evil and whatnot. No, it was more for political power and gain. They move people out of the way and put forth people that they could control. And you're going to tell me that is Christian? And that's just one example of a plethora of examples in the name of Christianity. I'm not even going to go with the preacher route because that would take a long ass time, and I don't think I have enough resources to talk about that. So just because you profess something and believe something and uphold something doesn't give you the right to be an asshole about it. And that applies to both sides of the coin. You know, the Pharisees, the ones that believe, and the Sadducees that don't believe. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't be an asshole. Stop being assholes to each other, to the world. I mean, believe what you want to believe because that is your personal thing. I don't think that a certain religion should be taken out of the picture. Religions should not be taken out of the picture. It doesn't matter which. I don't think ideals should be taken out of the picture because we are all thinking beings. Each and every one of us is a philosopher in our own right, in our own mind, because we come up with ideas. Philosophy is simply coming up with thoughts and determining if those thoughts are true or not. So just chill a bit, just chill and don't be such assholes about it. So speaking of that, I'm coming to terms with myself and with my life. There's a lot of things that I've questioned about myself, and especially the last 5 to 6 years when I've gone through this journey, which I've talked to death in this podcast. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, just check the podcast before, some of the podcasts that I've done in the past here on the Husky Bible, and where I talk about that with a little bit more detail. I don't want to tread those waters again. But I'm coming to terms with myself, with my belief, and because it's something that I've been struggling with. Because, with all the flaws and bad things that I have in my life, I like to think, like, for example, my first pastor, I won't mention his name. I don't think he would like me mentioning his name first, and plus being associated with such a potty-mouthed podcast like this one. But my first pastor that I had, he always said something very interesting, and now I thank him for that, for giving us that governor, because he always said to us, look, I'm a human being, and I'm going to fail you guys. One day I'm going to do something stupid. It's not that I mean to do it, it's just that I'm human, and the possibilities of a human fucking up are 100%. A human being will fuck up. So I'm going to ask you one thing. Don't look at me as your end-all be-all. Don't worship me. Don't think that I am your leader and this all-powerful being. Just keep your eyes on Jesus. Keep your eyes on God. Don't keep your eye on me. I'm going to fail. I will fail you guys, but God won't. And lo and behold, 3 years later, adultery. And that was a whole other ball of wax, which I'm not going to go into. But he's fine now. He's fine. Married to the woman that he cheated with. That's here or there. The point is, dark sense of humor. Me. Anyway, the thing is that I'm coming to terms with what I am and what I am at this juncture in life. Because I'm not the same kid that I was, almost 30 years ago. I've been evangelical Christian for almost now 30 years. I've been one for 29 years. That's the time I've spent doing this evangelical Christian thing in my life. Perfectly? No, it's more downs than ups in terms of my faith. And I'm here, and this is where I'm convinced to be. My personal take on it. That's my personal opinion on it. But I'm not going to force you to believe what I believe, because that's what you believe. It's something completely up to you. And if God wants to talk to you, He'll do it on His terms towards you and the way that you would understand. And whatever happens onto your journey after that, that's totally up to you, not up to me. That's nothing to do with me. But what I felt I should be doing now, in the last 5 to 6 years, it has not been all sunshine and rainbows in terms of my faith. I struggled big time ever since I, was confronted with my faith. I mean, I had a real big crisis of faith. I mean, I was almost an atheist. Almost went full atheist. Because I saw shit that I shouldn't have seen. Heard things that I shouldn't heard. And I don't think I'll ever talk about it publicly. It's not to me. It wasn't done to me. It's just that I saw... how do I explain it? I saw how the inner workings of shit is done to a certain level. Not all churches, the particular case that I saw. And I didn't like it. I didn't think that was the proper way to go about it. And that was the reason why I got so disinterested and got so jaded with my faith, because I'm like, it's okay, so if everybody's just dicking around, then why the fuck am I not? What's so special about me? Why do I have to, carry the torch when I don't feel like it? Because I feel just as weak as everyone else is. I don't have to, put this fucking mask on and pretend to be something that I'm not because I'm fucking weak. I don't, and I don't think I should be this example of Christianity that I'm not, because I'm not an example of Christianity. I'm a fucking failure at Christianity, I bet. I would be the last person that you would recommend to be a Christian. If you were looking for an example, what's a good prototype of a Christian? Anyone else, don't look at me. Because I fuck up. I'm fucking up right now. Fucking potty mouth that I have. And the reason I rather talk like I talk and still go to a church, because in my particular case, my thing. And this is what part of what I'm coming to terms to, is that with all my flaws, with all my things, and yes, well, then don't go to the damn church. Don't go and stop going to that stuff. You don't owe these people anything, and that's the thing. I know I don't owe them, and then I'm not doing it for them. I go to church not to look apart. I don't go to church to pretend to be a Christian. I go to church because I actually believe this. I actually believe this. I actually believe in God. I actually believe in Jesus. I actually believe in all of this. I'm just not that fucking good at it. That's the point. That's the whole point. I've realized that I am up. But I believe in this. Why do I believe in this? Because to my understanding, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, okay? And I'm willing to accept that, okay, what if there is no God? Okay, then there is no God. Fine. But I believe that there is a God, because the story of Jesus, it's what haunts me to this day. The story of Jesus, it's what haunts me to this day. It's the story of God turning himself into a human being, coming down to earth, living 33 and a half years on earth as a human being, and decided to live his life as a human, live a life perfectly, and then take all of our shit into his body, him suffer the consequences that were determined to us, die for our sins, and then resurrect. And that gives us access to God, and just wipes the slate clean in terms of our access towards God. That is basic Christianity 101. Catholics, evangelicals, every branch of Christianity, the ones that actually uphold the belief in Jesus as Lord, that includes Catholics, has that as Christianity 101. And that's what I believe. Now, am I a good Christian? I'm tired of reiterating this. No. So that's why I keep going to church. I keep going to church because I believe in it. And be honest about my fuck-ups. And be open towards everyone. And show them my flaws. I'd rather be that than pretend to be something of a Puritan like the Magi's. Because that's what happened to the fucking Pharisees. They became so mega spiritual that they wore fucking clothes just to make people look like the end all be all of spirituality. And you will see the embodiment of holiness. And that was their shit. They pretended to be these sanctimonious assholes and pretended to be this perfect fucking being when they're in real life they weren't fucking perfect. They were assholes. They just pretended to be something which they're not. I rather be open and just show you the fuck up that is me and still have God deal with this. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it makes a lot of sense to me in terms of like, be sincere, be honest, be open to myself. And I just keep repeating this phrase in my head that it's in Shakespeare, that Shakespeare wrote in Hamlet. This above all to thy own self be true. I don't read Shakespeare, although I do have a Shakespeare novel around there somewhere. But I don't read Shakespeare just in case he's an intellectual. No, I'm not. I saw that in Renaissance Man. You know, the Penny Marshall movie where Danny DeVito's in. Just kept repeating about this above all to thy own self be true. This above all to thy own self be true. And that mantra in my head, I don't want to bullshit because I'm tired of bullshit. Aren't you guys tired of bullshit? You're tired of bullshit. You're probably tired of this bullshit that I'm talking about right now. So, I'm taking myself accountable. So I've come to terms that I believe in God, but I'm a fuck up. Where do we go from there? Well, I guess you're going to have to, put some shit in order. Get my affairs in order. Like, I'm fat as fuck, as you can fucking tell. Fucking white ass face. Over 300 pounds. I got to take care of that shit. There are things like goals that I've set myself towards that I'm not claiming, that I'm not doing. Like, for example, I have a comic book that I want to write. And I'm going to show you right here. Iguachi. You don't know what that fucking means? I'm not going to explain it. It's too fucking long. I already taken up too much time. This is going to be a long one. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I have goals, ambitions, shit that I need to do. And I'm not doing it because I haven't, I second guess myself and everything. And the only reason I've kept on doing these podcasts is because I'm forcing myself to do these things, whether there's nobody watching or not. And nobody is watching. That's why I renamed the slogan of the podcast the Schrodinger's Cat of Podcasts. Because either it exists or it doesn't. You'll get it if you get it. Anyway, the thing is, on every fucking single end, I'm not promising I'm going to start losing weight, but I need to start doing something about it. And not just living my life as I am because it's not healthy. I don't sleep at all. And there's a plethora of shit that I need to change in order to live a more better life. Anyway, with this of a segment, I would like to end the podcast with a few announcements just before I go. So, since we're close to WrestleMania season, for those of you, those marks out there, aka wrestling fans out there, I'm thinking about recording a prediction WrestleMania thingy with the guys from the SmarkNerd podcast. That is the wrestling podcast that I on again, off again produce, because it's been a while since we've done one. Thinking December maybe or November. That was the last time we were so beautiful, right? I'm thinking about doing that. Hopefully, we can do that soon. And also, let me see. So yeah, also go visit the T Public Store site from the podcast. The link will be on ourbyboopod.com. You can go there and check out some of the new designs that are available. At the time of recording, there is a discount, I think, for most of the stuff. So take advantage of that and help us make some dough and hopefully pay off the website. That costs money. And I don't make that. Help us out there. And hopefully this thing will grow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to the audio and video version of the podcast. Check us out on the website, the Husky by Boo pod, huskybyboopod.com. Again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe to the channel. And well, this is it. This has been another episode of the Husky by Boo podcast. This has been Ariel. Take care, guys. Thank you for listening. Bye.